There was tremendous satisfaction in knowing they were, and that they had reason to be. Dr. Peter Whitney led the small group. Whitney, liar, deceiver, monster maker. He was the creator of the Ghost Walkers, creator of what Captain Ryland Miller and his men had become. Ryland stood up slowly, a deliberate ripple of muscle, a lethal jungle cat stretching lazily, unsheathing claws as he waited inside his cage. His icy gaze touched on their faces, lingered, made them uncomfortable. Graveyard eyes, eyes of death. He projected the image deliberately, wanting, even needing them to fear for their lives. Colonel Higgins looked away, studied the cameras, the security, watched with evident apprehension as the thick barrier of glass slid away. Although Ryland remained caged behind heavy bars, Higgins was obviously uneasy without the barrier, uncertain just how powerful Ryland had become. Ryland steeled himself for the assault on his hearing, his emotions. The flood of unwanted information he couldn't control, the bombardment of thoughts and emotions, the disgusting depravity and avarice that lay behind the masks of those facing him. He kept his features carefully blank, giving nothing away, not wanting them to know what it cost him to shield his wide-open mind. "Good morning, Captain Miller," Peter Whitney said pleasantly. "How are things this morning with you? Did you sleep at all?" Ryland watched him without blinking, tempted to try to push through Whitney's barriers to discover the true character guarded behind the wall Whitney had in his mind. What secrets were hidden there? The one person Ryland needed to understand, to read, was protected by some natural or man-made barrier. None of the other men, not even Caden, had managed to penetrate the scientist's mind. They couldn't get any pertinent data, shielded as Whitney was. But the heavy swamping waves of guilt were always broadcast loudly. "No, I didn't sleep, but I suspect you already know that." Dr. Whitney nodded. "None of your men are taking their sleeping meds. I noticed you didn't either. Is there a reason for that, Captain Miller?" The chaotic emotions of the group hit Ryland hard, as it always did. In the beginning, it used to drive him to his knees, the noise in his head so loud and aggravating his brain would rebel, punishing him for his unnatural abilities. Now, he was much more disciplined. The pain was still there, like 1,000 knives driving into his head at the first breach of his brain. But he hid the agony behind the facade of icy, menacing calm. And he was, after all, well trained. His people never revealed weakness to the enemy. "Self-preservation is always a good reason," he answered, fighting down the waves of weakness and pain from the battering of emotions. He kept his features totally expressionless, refusing to allow them to see the cost. "What the hell does that mean?" Higgins demanded. "What are you accusing us of now, Miller?" The door to the laboratory had been left standing open, unusual for the security-conscious company, and a woman hurried through. "I'm sorry I'm late. The meeting went longer than expected." At once, the painful assault of thoughts and emotions lessened, muted, leaving Ryland able to breathe normally, to think without pain. The relief was instant and unexpected. Ryland focused on her immediately, realizing she was somehow trapping the more acute emotions and holding them at bay, almost as if she were a magnet for them. And she wasn't just any woman. She was so beautiful she took his breath away. Ryland could have sworn when he looked at her the ground shifted and moved under his feet. He glanced at Peter Whitney, caught the man observing his reactions to the woman's presence very closely. At first, Ryland was embarrassed that he'd been caught staring at her. Then he realized Whitney knew the woman had some kind of psychic ability. She enhanced Ryland's abilities and cleared out the garbage of stray thoughts and emotions. Did Whitney know exactly what she did? The doctor was waiting for a reaction, so Ryland refused to give him the satisfaction, keeping his expression totally blank. "Captain Miller, I'd like to present my daughter, Lily Whitney, Dr. Lily Whitney." Peter's gaze never left Ryland's face.